Hey everybody, Chris Conley here, motion picture and television editor. So I'm back with another video that might be of interest to some of you. As I mentioned a couple times, I'm running a charity with my wife. We founded it and are trying to grow it. And somehow or another, I ended up on an email list for a company called AppSumo. They sell lifetime licenses to software that's oftentimes in a startup phase or something. And one of the things that kind of caught my eye was this software called Press Ranger, which is a huge alleged database of over 500,000 journalists and publications and podcasts with contact information that's kept up to date and the ability to email them from within the software. So we've been, my wife and I, discussing trying to get media attention for our charity for a while. And I thought for $59, it was worth taking a look at. So um, I believe AppSumo has an affiliate program. If it does, I may put a link in the description below if anyone's interested. Maybe click on my link. I might get a couple bucks. I don't know how it works, but we can use it like everybody else these days. It's been tight, especially trying to keep a charity going. So anyhow, I came over and I was looking at this Press Ranger software. Uh, says $59 for a lifetime deal, and if you jump in, this is on the AppSumo site. It seemed to be pretty well reviewed. 90 reviews, 4 point something on a 5 taco scale. I don't know what the tacos are about. But you can read the description. There's a thing here. It tells you pretty much what I just said. Well, this actually says over 2 million journalists, publishers, and podcasts. So I could have sworn it said 500,000, but maybe that's been updated since I purchased it a couple days ago. So the high and the low of it is I'm actually pretty dang impressed with it. You get down here, and the $59, which is what I bought, allows you to manage one company. And what that means is when you sign up, you get a code. You go to, this company actually operates outside of AppSumo. So if you just go to PressRanger.com, they are working toward becoming a subscription service. So if you purchase this software outside of AppSumo, they're wanting $79 a month for what I was able to get for $59 lifetime through AppSumo. So that could go away anytime, this lifetime deal. But I guess this is where I saw that 500,000. So anyhow, they're trying to sell this for $79 a month. And honestly, if I had a company that was making money, that would probably be worth it. I'm actually pretty impressed with the software. So back to this. When you go into your dashboard, you can set up a company, which is the company that you will be marketing and sending press releases out on. Because I only had one, my charity, I signed up for this cheap one. Now that I've gotten into it, I actually kind of wish that I had just paid twice as much, got the double, which would allow me to do 5 companies. Not that I need the 5 companies, but what it does allow you to do is do CSV exports, comma separated lists of the various lists that you can build in the software. And I think that could be actually useful because I have the ability to send emails outside of this software as well. And if I was able to download these lists as comma separated lists and deal with them outside of their ecosystem, I would have a little more flexibility. So I kind of wish that I had just coughed up the extra $60 and got the double. But in any event, I did the $59. And what that does is it gives you a code which will be delivered to your AppSumo products page. And you will then be able to redeem that code, and it will send you to a special redemption landing page over on the Press Ranger site. And you'll drop in a code, and when you do that, it will log you into Press Ranger, and you will then be a lifetime member. And if you go down here to, I believe, billing, it actually shows up. It says you have a lifetime license to Press Ranger. Uh, here's the code. I will block that out. And it shows that I'm on tier 1. Again, if I had gone to tier 2, I'd have this ability to export the comma separated lists, which I kind of wish I had. And I don't know if there's a way to upgrade. Because if you hit here to upgrade to a paid plan, it actually tries to convert you over to a monthly plan. So if you're going to do it up front. Get your, go ahead and pay the 120 or whatever it is to get the access. Anyhow, so back to the dashboard. Pretty simple looking, but what you want to do is you want to set up a company. And when you set up a company, it allows you to specify, maybe I can show it here. You set up a company, I can say add. You give it a name, you give it a website, and then you can choose up to 10 sectors that your company deals with. So given that the nonprofit nature of my company and the way that most likely customers and or charities that we'll be helping sort of relate to blogs and blogging, Christian, civil service, community news, culture, disabilities, disaster recovery, humanities, nonprofits, philanthropy. So I picked those sectors, and then the AI in the back end uses that to help you locate and determine which publishers and journalists might be best suited for your press release. What language you primarily operate in, a short description of your company, your location, your logo, your co-people, whatever you can add. All this stuff ends up your social media handles, all this kind of stuff. So then you've created a company. Because I'm on that tier 1, I only have the option to do 1. If you were on the tier 2, you could do 5. So if you, for any reason, have 2 companies that you want to, again, I would probably, doing it again, I'd probably go the 120 to get the at least tier 2, and you can go higher if you want. So having done that, I set up a company, and the first thing I wanted to do is generate a press release. So I started with start a new AI media campaign, and it asks you a couple questions. It says, tell me a little bit about your company. What is the specific thing that you want to highlight in your press release? And it allows you to basically add an AI prompt explaining what it is you want to promote. And you hit the button, boom, and it came up with this for me. Comes up with a press release. I guess, okay, so this is what I typed in. I said I want to do a general announcement effective December 25th in English, and here was the description. Pipster, the innovative pay it forward app, redefining charitable giving, blah, 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 blah. I actually used ChatGPT to come up with this and popped it into that thing, hit the button, and it instantly popped out a press release and, kind of more importantly, an email template, which now is part of this media campaign. So when I go over to the media room and you go to send an email, you can either do a blank email or you can use the email template, which is pre-written and has a link to your press release, and it's pre-written, and I'll show you that, but it pops it into your personal Gmail or Hotmail compose window, and you can make tweaks if you need to, if there's some specific reason you want to change it for each individual email, you can. But it gives because it's dealing with their built-in database, it'll automatically set the subject line up to the author's name, their organization, and then the remainder of the subject line. Here's the press release that is set up, and I will view that for you. So this is what it did automatically. I added the photos, but the rest of it is AI generated. Pipster celebrates second anniversary of Pay It Forward app, revolutionizing charitable giving. I was able to add hot links to a couple spots in it. Pipster Inc., a YouTube channel from one of our charities that we've helped, giving us kind of a testimonial, links to our website and our web app, my wife and I, with one of the charities that we've dealt with. A little thing down here at the bottom, another link, my wife's contact information, and all our socials. So that is now a pretty cool press release, basically generated in a couple seconds. I added some pictures and whatnot, but for all intents and purposes, it took about, hardly any time at all. If you hit edit, you can go in. This is where I was able to make those changes. You basically have a little press release body editor here. So I was able to highlight a piece of text. And where was it? How did I do it? Oh, I can't edit it because this company also has a wholesale agreement with a company that places these press releases. And allegedly, it would be $600 for to release a press release to like 350 guaranteed web placements through Press Ranger. You can do it for $300, and I assume that that's a lifetime price, but it does go out to 350 medias, I guess, with basically guaranteed placement, and then you get a report. So because I did that, this becomes non-editable because it's been published or queued for publishing. Prior to doing that, I was able to do whatever I wanted here. I was able to create hot links and add images, which is what I did down here, a primary photo and a secondary photo. You can add your photo captions, this is cool. You've got up here a hot link that it's a permalink, so you can present that anywhere and it'll take you right to the press release that we were just looking at. So from now until, I guess, eternity, I can share that hot link and go here. So, pretty cool. And if I then step back out, let's see here, AI campaigns, I guess I can start another one. So if I ever, we do something amazing, have another event or something, I could start another AI campaign. Same thing, name of campaign, special event honoring somebody. And then English, general, I guess I could say upcoming event. When do I want it to release? And then whatever the specifics are. And this is, again, where I use ChatGPT to come up with something cool about, in the case of this last one, we were celebrating 2 years as a nonprofit, and we had recently done a couple nice donations to some charities and things. So I put that in here, and that's what generated that press release. So, from here on out, anytime you do something worthy of promotion, you can start a new campaign. It'll build you one of those press releases. At the very least, you'll always have that permalink and that nice press release, and you can share those or send them out any way you want. If you opt to pay for a distribution, you come to distribution credits, and this is the page where you do that. There's a basic and a premium. The difference is described on the actually page here, order press release distributions. This explains what the difference is. But the cool thing is, once you've done this, you can put these kinds of logos on your website as seen in, because it will place your press release in all the different markets. So let's see if it says here. Yeah, here's the basic release. We'll place it in 300 plus. However, a lot of them will be no follow. They won't put links back to you, and there's maximum word limits, and there's a difference in who they place to. So you can see the list here. So anyhow, I actually did this, and you do get a nice report back. So it says it was placed on 326 media outlets. It hit the terminals of 19 others, which are kind of bigger ones, so they may or may not do anything with it if they think your press release is worthy. And it actually landed. They've got a deal with a podcaster called International Business Partner or something, and they have a podcast on all these major pod streamers, and they will do a little blurb using AI to kind of summarize your press release, and the guy will read it for you. So I was placed on 8 of those, and here's the report. So Business Insider, it says it's placed with a monthly traffic of AP, Apple, so if you click, so here we are on Yahoo Finance, Pipster, and this one still has our link. So if I click there, there's a link back to our website from Yahoo's domain. So, and so you can see, I actually now put as seen on, and I grabbed a couple of the big ones. So my website now has this handy dandy thing here. So I think, I think that I'll let you know later, but I think it's worth it because I now have links to various parts of my website and things that I want to point out. If nothing else, for just search engine optimization, I think it's worthwhile. And now we landed on all these things. Granted, they are paid placements, but they are there. So I'm already seeing more in Google Search Console. I'm seeing more outcoming links into our site. So that's exciting. Anyhow, I don't know how often I'll do that, but for the $300, I wanted to try it and see what it did, how it worked, and it seems to have worked. There's literally 300 placements. You can click and view every one of them if you want. In addition, it gives you social media links to these outlets, so you can start maybe promoting your placement on their social medias, So if you want to work it, I'm sure there's a way that you can work it even further. But the high and the low of it is, for $300, I got placement of the press release that their AI generated, this one, all over the internet. Now, back to this email template. So if you come over here to your dashboard, and after you've created your company, you get this list of all these suggested journalists for our nonprofit. So this is where you can view each one of these people. Community News, City News, Capital Insider, Publisher, and anyone there's the best political reporters about the Washington Post, Fearless Independent, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at this guy. Whatever. So if I go here and I read, here's it's kind of a generic email, but apparently, hopefully it'll get to him. You can read about it. Boom, boom, boom. I say, yeah, I'm gonna pitch him on this. So if I go up here and I go send email, here is that email template that I was talking about. It's that one that's been pre-generated. So let's just do that so you can see it. So if I click on that, boom, it pops up in my Gmail account. So it's going to go out with my personal Gmail address, but it'll say, hey, Mike, I hope this message finds you well. I'm Chris Conley, co-founder of Pipster, along with my wife. Now it wrote all this. You can edit it in the template. So if you don't like what it generated, you can edit it, and then it'll use the same one for everybody. But because it is in my email, if for some reason I actually happen to know this guy, or I know somebody that knows this guy, or I have some connection to this or whatever, I can go in and change it, modify it any way I want. Because it's a Gmail, it doesn't automatically make these things hot links, but if I just click on that, it'll do it. Same with this. I usually do this, boom, just make them hot links. But that's a link back to that nice press release. So I can just send it, boom. And so it already, again, pre-filled. Mike, Capital Insight visitors will love the Pay It Forward story. Hot. Boom, send it. Once you've done that, let's see if I can come back over here. Then what I've been doing is they give you this option. You can set a status. So what I'll do is I'll just say, usually I'll say pitched. And if I say pitched, then they show up over here in a list in the CRM. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just jump over there. You've got the gist of it. If for some reason, when I was working on submitting ourselves to podcasts primarily, I didn't really want to use the email template. Because we've had some podcast successes lately. So what I was doing was going to a blank email. It still gives it has the address, and then I would do custom emails for the podcasts, and I was using Chat GPT to actually Google Gemini is what I've been using, but I would take a similar podcast that we've recently done and generate some kind of a little thing, and I've been sending that out to podcasts. So you've got the option of doing both. You can either send it through their system with the template that it created. You can create a new one, or you can use blank and just generate your own. Once you've done that, you can give it some kind of a status and add a note so that you can continue to follow up on them. So I usually use Pitched when I send them. Then if you jump over here to CRM, you've got a list. Here's this guy Pitched. If I ever get a response back from this guy, that's when I would then go in here and I would change the status to, contacted or followed up or negotiating or whatever, or not interested. If it bounces or for some reason the email doesn't work, which is not, it's generally they go through. I have had, I don't know, maybe I'm guessing 5%, probably less, that bounced. And when they bounce, there is an option right here. Mark this profile out of date or request updated information. So when I get a bounce, I go, when I check my email, and if I start getting bounces, I've just been coming back into here, and the emails that bounce, I've been clicking this button, out of date, and I'll say the email, the email. This is what I've been doing. I've been going, the email bounced or something. Please update. Now, I don't know. I'll follow back up if I get some kind of a notice, or I become aware somehow that this is useful and is actually being taken seriously. I'll follow up. It does give the option to do that. So I'm just pointing it out, and I'm hopeful that they actually do take it serious and try to update these out of date contacts. But again, it's not many of them that have been bouncing, and they almost always have additional ways to get a hold of them too. So you may be able to get a hold of them outside of that email, just through these other ways. So if you're really desperate to get a hold of this guy because he's the one that's going to help you promote your business, they give you a lot of ways to get a hold of most of these people. Then they have the ability to keep track of, like, these podcasts. So these are the ones that I thought were interesting as I went through the whole list of them. I marked them with the status of researching. They show up in the list here. I can then go into each one, and again, read more about them. If I decide that they're not really what I want, I'll say not a fit. If they're something I'm interested in, I'll send them an email, change the status to pitched, and then I wait. And then when I get a response, I'll adjust the status accordingly and move through the thing. So that's basically the high and the low. But what you're mostly paying for is this database of, allegedly somewhere between 500,000 and 2 million podcasters and journalists and publications. I've been pretty impressed. It's pretty deep. And podcasts that I was aware of, tiny little ones, are in here, and all the big ones are in here as well. So you've got access to that. You have the ability to directly email them, and then you have the AI production of a media campaign, which generates the press release and the email template. Apparently, unlimited AI campaigns, and depending on the tier that you buy in at, you can set up up to as many companies as you've paid. For that 119 or 120 or whatever it is, you can get, I think, 5 companies. Again, I wish I had done that, just for the ability to export some of this information to deal with outside of their ecosystem here. But by and large, I'm impressed. I'm really happy that I did it. So if it looks like something that's useful to you, and you know you want to use it, A, let me know, and B, if it turns out there is an affiliate link, maybe click it. I'll put it down below because, like I said, 2024 can't get over quick enough. I need some dough. So that's that. Press Ranger. Oh, and the other thing is, I'll just mention the guy that founded the place. I want to say Steve. I don't know for sure. I think his name is Steve. Very responsive. The few times that I have, I get emails. He's very active, sending emails out, promoting his own company and Press Room and what it is they're trying to do with it and stuff. And I've responded to his emails, and he's responded to me pretty quick. So I get the sense that they're serious about it, that they want it to work. I think it is a fairly new venture, given the fact that they are, still selling lifetime licenses on this app Sumo. But I don't know how long that's going to last. So you might want to jump into it. I'll put a link to this page, and if I have an affiliate link, I'll put that up too. It looks like maybe they do. So yeah, I'm babbling at this point, but I'm impressed. I wish I had done the 2 codes. So I would maybe humbly suggest you do, just for the ability to a little more flexibility. So that's that. Press Ranger, purchased through AppSumo, lifetime deal. And occasionally, if you have something worthy of promoting, that wholesale placement of paid promotions, press releases across all kinds of media, I think it's a worthwhile thing. So, all right, that's that. I'm babbling. I will let you all go so you don't have to listen to me any longer. All right, thanks, man.